So, good morning, guys. 24th of March. Welcome to Relaxed Crypto. My name is Kristiaan.
Hi, and I'm Michael. And Kristiaan looks very relaxed today.
So this is our first live stream. I'm very relaxed, right? I'm here in Mexico, in Puerto Escondido. And I'm living here under the mango tree, so you can always harvest mangoes right off the tree when they fall down. I can just show you where I am right now. It's a very nice location. You can see it. My camera, unfortunately, isn't that great, but yeah, out there is a little pool, and I live here a little bit in paradise for the past 12 weeks. But let's get to it because you guys are interested in Bitcoin, not in me. And yeah, what we have seen over the past 12 weeks is not ideal. Let's say we're still in a sideways range, and the sideways range has begun basically in January, when we dropped down from 65,000 in November down to around 30,000, and now we are going up and down between 32,000 up to 45,000 in this range for the past weeks. But Michael can tell you more about it when he looks on TradingView later. So at the moment, we're sitting at 43,000 in Bitcoin. Ethereum just broke again above 3,000. Yeah, the other coins are all still trading below the all-time highs. Maybe one exception is Terra Luna, because this coin really went up quite a lot. Now it's almost at its all-time high again at $100. Yeah, you have Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, all these smart contract platforms. They're all trying to keep up. But in the end, at the moment, as I see it, everything is depending on Bitcoin. Yeah, so if Bitcoin is not going up significantly above 50,000, 60,000, the whole market is more less like waiting out what might happen in the future. And yeah, we're still waiting what comes. But let's look at some indicators. So fear and greed is currently at 40. It has been pretty low over the past months. So if you look at this, it's always here in the 20 to 30 to 50 range. So it's, I would say overall, in the past 3 months, it has never been higher than 50, 52, 53, 54. So I would say we're still currently in like a negative sentiment. I would not say we are fully in a full bear market, because then you would actually see values here actually all the time at 20 or 10. So we are a bit more positive than a traditional bear market, but you could definitely say that for the past 6 months, 5 months, we are a little bit maybe in a short-term bear market. Then other news, the EU Parliament tried to ban Bitcoin mining, but they were unsuccessful. So just like 10 days ago now, on March 14th, the EU Parliament, they voted against the Bitcoin mining ban, which is a positive sign, because in my opinion, Bitcoin mining per se is not negative or bad. Just it has to do with the energy consumption. So how much of the energy consumed for the Bitcoin mining comes from renewable sources, and how much is actually harming the environment. And Michael Saylor is doing a fantastic job with the Bitcoin Mining Council. So I definitely link that below the video. Check it out. Michael Saylor and his team, the Bitcoin Mining Council, are doing a fantastic job to set the facts straight, yeah, and tell the world the Bitcoin mining is not so bad, just as bad as the resources you use to do the mining. And actually, they are better than most power grids in the world. Bitcoin mining is better than power grid in Germany or the USA or the entire European Union, which is a positive sign. Then another star investor, Ray Dalio, is now saying that he's backing a crypto fund. Ray Dalio was first, let's say, a bit more skeptical about crypto in general, and now actually he's backing a crypto fund, which is a very, very positive sign in my opinion. Yeah, Ray Dalio is a very interesting figure. He wrote a really, really good book recently called I think How to Deal with the Changing New World Order. And very, very interesting stuff going on, where you can see like how economies go up and down. And yeah, he's forecasting that China will one day kick the US off its throne. Yeah, and also he sees that Bitcoin has a role to play in this whole game. And yeah, I'm pretty interested in what might happen. But let's look at some. Go ahead, Michael.
I think he's even forced to start think about crypto. I think Bridgewater is the biggest hedge fund in the world, so they have the most capital. There are a lot of pension funds in it. Of course, he is very conservative in investing. I mean, you know, Ray Dalio is famous for his all-weather portfolio, which is very, very yeah, mainly as a partially in stocks and government bonds, and not really aggressive in terms of risk. And of course, they looking at crypto now, or they want to start investing in crypto, but also not directly in Bitcoin or any currencies, but companies which are somehow related to crypto. But
Exactly.
anyway, it's a good sign that even people which were very skeptic about Bitcoin starting now to think or change their mind about crypto and Bitcoin in general.
Absolutely, there's no way around it, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Well, let's see. And then last thing I want to tell you is Plan B. Yeah, Plan B was forecasting a Bitcoin price of, what do you say, 100-something thousand for December, right? But that unfortunately never happened. So the floor model of Plan B unfortunately failed. But still, he's like tweeting on Twitter, and he got a lot of criticism, of course, for his false predictions. But overall, his stock to flow model is still like really, really good. And here basically he's now saying that I spy with my little eye, and says that he thinks that there might be like a bottom in. Yeah, so this might actually be a bottom around the $30,000 to $40,000 area. But also then there's people commenting that he is basically not correct. Yeah, so basically you could also argue that we don't see like a double bottom, but we see double top. So that actually this year might be one top, this might be second top, and then it goes on further. Not to spread any negative Nancy sentiment or comments, but it might be the case, and we have to prepare for this in case we are actually in a longer term bear market. It might actually take some time until we see a new all-time high in Bitcoin. But of course, generally, you know, guys, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, so I'm holding onto my positions. This is not financial advice. And now, Michael, you have the stage, and tell us what you want to tell us.
I think you need to stop
share, yeah.
The screen, then I can start it. Perfect. Okay, so here you see the Bitcoin chart in TradingView. We are now on weekly candles, so means every candle is 1 week. And something similar, what Plan B was showing, that we have some kind of support, could have kind of support now in this region. And it could be an uptrend again, it could be a trend reversal. You see it in the MACD, the downside potential is getting weaker and weaker. And normally this is also a sign that it could switch again the course, it could go up again more. So we have some bullish divergence here in the very, very long-term charts. I mean, these are weekly candles, so this doesn't mean that this 40,000 holds now. Everything can happen all the time, but the signs or some indicators are quite showing a possible trend reversal. We have the RSI, which is around 47. We see the funding rates in BitMEX, they are still not they are not too optimistic yet, so which is also normally a good sign. And yeah, we could see a relief rally. Of course, this is on the very long chart. If you scale in a bit in a daily chart, yeah, I think it's important that we break this 45,000. Once we are above 45,000, I would love to see a retest of this region here, because we have tried several times to break 45,000. We didn't manage it so far. So it could be possible that we try again, go against 45,000, get rejected again, go down and up. But once we break this 45,000, I think that would be a very good sign for Bitcoin. But of course, no financial advice, but we see quite good, I mean, the indicators show quite optimistic scenarios here. What we also see is the Mayer multiple in the 200-day moving average related to the current price. We are still below the 200-day moving average. We see the 200-day moving average is here at 48,000. So we are at 42,000. This equals then to this 0.89, which is normally still a good time to buy Bitcoin. but nevertheless, I mean, every time, as long as you hold for a long period of time, if you hold more than 4 years, there is nobody who was negative anyway. So, but normally when the Meyer multiple is down, it's a good time to buy. And what Kristiaan already told is the stock to flow model. I mean, he was talking about the floor model, but Plan B is also especially famous for the stock to flow model, which comes from the book, The Bitcoin Standard from Savadine. And we see we are far below the expected price, which is around 100,000 now. In this region, we are at 43, so there is still a lot of upside potential. If we check the rainbow chart, it's a similar chart or a similar situation. We have here these halving lines. We saw the first halving. Normally, then we have a huge upside potential into this red region in this rainbow chart here in 2017. We had the same situation around 2013. And what we see now, we are almost 2 years after the halving, so more or less exact, I think, even. I mean, it was in March, as far as I remember, or May, probably. And the next halving is now in 2 years, expected to be in 2 years, in March, more or less. So we are in the middle of these halving cycles, and in terms of the rainbow chart, we are also more or less in the middle of the price predictions in this chart. This chart, if we go to the red region, could go up to 250, 280,000, even 300,000, depends when we would hit the top here. But yeah, what's interesting is we didn't have in this bull run, in this cycle, we didn't have such a high. We didn't reach such high prices, but the pullback was also not that hard. I mean, in 2017. We reached this 20,000 and we went down to almost we went down to 3,000 more or less. So we had almost 80-90% correction. And so far we went up, of course, we corrected from 70,000 or 68,000 to 30,000. But so far this 30,000 held, and let's see how it will continue further. I mean, it would be interesting, would be very interesting, of course, to see this bubble territory again, but yeah, then it would be the crash afterwards would be even harder, I guess. So maybe we can go slowly up and stay in this yellow, orange, greenish region, which of course also would give some nice gains in the next 1-2 years. Of course, this is just a chart, a prediction. No prediction comes through, of course. So let's see where we will go.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really interesting to see this rainbow chart, because you can see that we are not that low. People might think that we crashed a lot from 65,000 down. People also have to see that the price appreciated from $3,000 in March 2020 to a level of $39,000 or $42,000 now, just like 2 years later. So this is still a 10x gain, which people always forget. Because it's always how it is. People get in the market and they always enter when it's at the top, yeah, and then they basically get slaughtered like sheep because they invest too much at a very high price, and then it dumps, and then they think that they're at a big loss. But overall, if you look in doubt, zoom out, you'll see that it's still like in a super strong uptrend trajectory.
Absolutely, especially in the long term, of course, as you said, yeah.
Absolutely. And with that, guys, I guess we're coming to the end of today's update. This was quick and dirty. Hopefully, the next one will look quicker and not with a 12-week break in between.
Absolutely.
But let us know in the comments below what you think where Bitcoin is heading. Are we going to a new all-time high soon, or do we have to wait a bit longer? All right.
Sooner.
Then wishing you all a very nice day and see you next time, and stay relaxed.
See you next time. Bye.